And they said, we stopped at 3,200. And I just said, thank God. And it really made a difference. And that goes to show you that one person can make a difference. And it doesn't matter who you are. This movement was not formed on race, creed, or color. It was formed on and by Americans who loved their country, who wanted to see something done about a despot who got put in there through lying, who wants to destroy this country. And we say, no, no, we have had enough. And we started the Tea Party movement. Now, what I want to talk to you about tonight is our last stand. And I want you to think about that as I talk, because truly, America, this is and very might well be our last stand. The America that we know, the America that was founded, the America of the founder's dream is slowly, actually fastly, being destroyed by one man in the White House, first of all, a do-nothing Congress, and a bunch of progressives who don't give a hoot about the United States of America, you or me. America was founded upon the principles of freedom and liberty. And those freedoms, those liberties, those rights were given to us by Almighty God, and they are of the people. By the people and for the people, and it was intended to be a limited role by government. They've usurped their authority. They've come and given us entitlements. They've come and given us all kinds of excuses as to why they can't do the right things for us except make us slaves to the government. But we have rose, and we are a people who are one nation under God, unique. We are diverse, but not multicultural. I hate that word. We are united, and we live in the greatest country upon the face of this earth, and we have the opportunity to keep it that way. You know, we can pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or we can go the way of Europe. It's up to us. And I want you to think about that all the while I'm talking tonight. We can be bad all by ourselves. We don't need Obama to help us be bad. But he's pushing us, and he's pushing us, and he's pushing us right off the cliff. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Obama before I get into something else here. About, 3 years ago, I was riding on a bus to Washington, D.C. for Americans for Prosperity. And everybody on the bus, it was a week before Election Day, before the election of November 2008. Everybody was all joyous on the bus, and they were talking, bus full of conservatives. I think it was like 88 of us or something like that on the bus. We were headed to Washington, D.C. for that big Americans for Prosperity rally. And but I noticed something different about the people on the bus. They kept talking about, well, I don't know. I think we got a chance to make history here. I think I'm going to switch and vote for Obama. And I'm going, what in the world's wrong with you people? I thought I was riding with conservatives. And I just kept quiet. And they kept talking, and they kept talking, they kept talking. Finally, we got about maybe 40, 50 miles east of Pennsylvania. I had enough. And I said, wait a minute. I said, let me say something. So I got up and I started talking. I said, first of all, people, I said, you're making a big mistake. I said, Barack Obama, and I started telling, because I had done my homework, and I started telling them what kind of a person he was. I started talking about his abortion record. I started talking about some of the little things that he'd done as a community organizer and how he studied Alinsky. They were looking at me like I was nuts. And I said, have you people done your homework? And I said, now, the biggest thing that I'm going to tell you is that Barack Obama is a racist. They told the driver, stop the bus and throw this man off. So he's crazy. How in the world can you, as a black man, call another black man a racist when we think he's all right? So I began to tell them about Jeremiah Wright. I began to tell them about Louis Farrakhan and how he was buddy-buddy with Barack Obama. I began to tell them, hey, look, I grew up in the hood. So I grew up around people like that. And I know how they think. I know what their goals are and what their motives are. And I don't like it. And I argued with them. I fought with them. And I've learned what they think and what they believe. And Barack Obama is one of them. So they put me, well, I was walking to get off. I don't know where I was going to go, but in the middle of Pennsylvania. But I got back on the bus. I mean, I didn't get off, but I was walking down the aisleway because I really thought they were going to kick me off the bus. And they began to listen. And I told them as much as I knew about Barack Obama. I don't know what happened after that, but I told them, the last thing that I told them before I sat back down was that it won't take long. I said, I guarantee you within the first 90 days, Barack Obama will show his colors. What happened the first 90 days? You had a professor. He tried to break into his own house. Remember that? He was black. The police came. He gave the police a fit. First thing he did was said he wasn't being treated fairly. Barack Obama gets on television. What does he do? Said the police are acting stupidly. He tried to make a racial issue out of it, and I went bingo. Less than 90 days before he's in office, he's already showed his colors. Not a single person on that bus called me, emailed me, or wrote me to apologize. And ever since then, this president has done more to divide this country than every president we've ever had in the history of this nation and anybody else. But the purpose of our government is to secure our rights. And I want you to get that, not to give them to us. They don't give us anything except bad government. They don't give us anything except failure. If the government owned the Sahara Desert, we'd be out of sand very shortly because they wouldn't know what to do with it. Everything that the government put their hands on, they mess up. And we're all adults. We can see what's going on. Oh, by the way, one of my nephews, he told me, you always use that word adult all the time. He said, you know what an adult is? And I said, no. And he goes, that's a person that stopped growing on both ends and is growing in the middle. Kids. But anyway, the government is to secure our rights, not to give us our rights.